All right, welcome in. A very happy Wednesday to you now. It's the best betting show ever. The first day in what feels like an eternity that we didn't have any damn soccer going on. So, whew, you know what that means? It means it gives Art and I a chance to actually talk about what matters, and that is Major League Baseball. Art the Caesar in the house. Carmine Bianco will be back tomorrow when we get more World Cup action resuming. Nobody has seen or heard from the Prez, so we're not sure if they threw him out of the over 65 tournament in Vegas there or not, or maybe he got bounced in the first hour. We do not know. Something tells me, Art, though, if the Prez had actually won anything, boy, would we know about it in a big, big way. So, but hopefully there's a welfare check somewhere doing something here, locating the Prez for us, my man. How are you doing, Art? What's new and exciting, man? You get to breathe a little bit here, a little first day without soccer in a while.
Yeah, first day without soccer. But you said, listen, the important stuff's still on the table. All the baseball. Obviously, this is the last week for the All-Star break. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is usually a weird time of the year because mid to late July is very slow when you're dealing with baseball and you're at All-Star break, but you still got NBA Summer League, which starts tomorrow in Vegas. You still got the World Cup. Wimbledon's wrapping up, so there's still plenty on the table.
Lot going on, including a crazy-ass UFC coming up this weekend. So still a lot going on. And I always say it, Art, this time of year is all about padding your bankroll for football. And that's all it is. It's about bankroll building, being smart, building it up, and having more money to invest during football season. That's what it is all about. So let's start with how the books did last night here, Art, because that Argentinian game was out of control. I had to cover that game live, and it was just out of control. The price you could have gotten for Argentina down 2-0 in that second half, coming up on the 70-minute mark, I mean, it was all but over. But I guess the fat lady wasn't quite singing just then, Art. How'd you guys do in that game?
You know, we would have done a lot better, obviously, if Argentina lost outright. But, you know, I'd mentioned on the show yesterday, they were laying the goal and a half with Argentina. So, obviously, that didn't happen. Them winning the way they did in quote-unquote regulation was incredible. So, them not covering the goal and a half was huge. You know, I mentioned where the sharps were on Switzerland plus a half yesterday. So, that meant the public was going to be on Colombia minus a half. Obviously, that goes all the way to penalty kicks. 0-0, so that was a good result for us. Dodgers losing late last night. I believe they gave that up in the 8th inning. Ended up losing 4-3, knocked out all the late night parlays. So all in all, a good day for the sportsbook. Could have been a grand day if Argentina lost outright.
Yeah, could have been a huge day had that happened for contrarian bettors for sure. But we might have actually gotten a few right in the parlay of the day. We'll talk about that coming up. Major League Baseball yesterday, Dodgers losing. I thought of you last night. Had to be good for you guys since I don't know what they were betting, but they bet it up to almost $3 yesterday, Art. What's going on?
Yeah, it's incredible. And, you know, it's funny. Obviously, the Dodgers, most of the time, though, they're going to be the late game and the game that ends everything. And you get everything that goes tied to the Dodgers. So, you know, you got a lot of those 2, 3, 4, even, you know, 16 parlays that are all tied late night to the Dodgers. Them losing in the fashion they did was good because, you know, if that Dodger game comes in and they end up winning the game 3-1 or come back and win 5-4, whatever the case may be, we might actually have a losing day because you probably have a lot of stuff that had Argentina tied to the Dodgers, you know, all the type of stuff that, you know, when you see the big favorites who all get parlayed and glommed together. So anytime one of those teams can get knocked out, and it happened to be the Dodgers last night, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that was a great thing last night there. But it means we got a full slate of action coming up here today. So let's start with Major League Baseball, Art. The Sharps, what have you seen so far this morning in Major League Baseball?
They're on 3 teams tonight. They're on the Brewers, they're on the Giants, and they are on the Red Sox. Those are the 3 teams they are on today.
Ooh, Giants, Brewers. That's a good pitching matchup. By the way, that's a early afternoon start. Noon by you are 3:30, I believe. That's Webb
Mm-hmm.
against Dylan Cease. We're going to have something on that coming up, guys, that you're going to want to see in the predictive markets, because I definitely think there is an opportunity here in some of these future markets. How about let me switch the World Cup quick, Art? Anything early you're seeing? Morocco, France, Belgium, Spain, England, Norway's not till the weekend, but anything on the next couple of games coming up?
You know, they're taking France, they're taking Spain, and when I say they, the public, and the public has done this throughout the World Cup, where they'll put together 2 or 3 favorites and make that a parlay. But you know, you always got to remember, when you're parlaying a 3-way line in a 2-3-14 parlay, you can always get beat by the draw, and that happens a lot in these parlays. So then people even move to the, hey, let me just parlay the advanced prices, which obviously are way higher than a 3-way line if you're betting a favorite, but they obviously want the protection of them just winning the game, whether it's in extra time or penalty kicks. So we see that a lot. So, you know, we always say we're going to want an upset or two just for the daily bottom line. But, you know, I've mentioned this before. We do really well in the future book with all the top teams. So I'm rooting for all the top teams to move on and we get a big, big, big matchup in the final, because that's going to be huge for business. So I think we look at it, if we can get one of those, you know, major matchups with these top 5 teams ranked in the FIFA World Rankings, that's just going to be good for us.
Yeah, and it could very well be on the way, that's for sure. Talk to me, Art. WNBA. Anytime I see a total 183 or higher, it's one of two things are happening. Either the Indiana Fever are playing or the Indiana Fever are playing. Which one is it?
Yeah, listen, I've always said with these totals, and you look at like the tempo total tonight, they bet it from 168.5 to 165.5, so the sharps are on that. They've also laid the price with the links. They laid 6.5 after there was movement early on the Sun, but I think that was a fake. I think they were trying to fake it down to get a shorter number on the links. So sharps are on tempo under 168, and they laid 6.5 with the links.
All right, so you got a little something going on there in the WNBA as well. How about, I mean, anything Wimbledon wise, Art? Are we seeing anything in the tennis world? As we forget, but that's slowly continuing down the path. And I believe is it Djokovic? Who do we got in a semifinal? I guess we're almost at that point. It's kind of crazy.
Djokovic Sinner we got in a final, in a semi, and then we also got Coco in a semi tomorrow. So Coco's matches always draw some heat from the bettors. They like betting her. She's actually a small dog. I think she's like even money, and Carolina Mochavic is like -120, -125. And then obviously Joker and Sinner will take a lot of action as well. But, we've talked throughout this show these last couple weeks. Wimbledon's been quiet this year.
It has, huh?
And I really think that's got to do with the World Cup.
Do you usually get
do.
a lot of action? Is it a public sport? Who the hell bets tennis?
The sharps bet tennis. There's no doubt. They do. But I will say this: the public, when you talk to 4 majors, Australian Open, no one public bets that. French Open, barely. But once you get to Wimbledon and the U.S. Open,
changes
public
up,
likes to bet those. Yeah. I mean, those are obviously the 2 big majors, so people like to bet those. It's kind of like the Masters, where you don't see a guy bet golf all year, and then he's got a couple people to win the Masters.
Yeah.
So, anytime you have these big tournaments and these, national tournaments where everyone kind of keeps an eye on maybe Wimbledon or the U.S. Open or something like that, you get a little bit of public play. But yeah, throughout the year, tennis is, that's as sharp of a sport as you can imagine. We have people who only bet tennis, and their accounts are only tennis accounts.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff there. And heck, we know no Alcaraz, right? Still hurt, so having Sinner back, that should be interesting as well. But we'll keep you posted on any movement on that throughout the week. Any early UFC? Are they rolling up to bet Conor after 9th? I don't know what he is doing. Has he lost all his money? Like, what are you doing, dude, at this point?
Definitely on Friday, we will have the sharp action on UFC, because, you got to give it a couple of days. Obviously, it's, on Saturday, but they really start to rev up the betting Thursday and Friday, and then obviously on Saturday, fight day. But Connor's going to be super public. We know that. He has a huge following. The public loves Connor. I would be shocked if
he's a $2 underdog. Of course he is. He needs to be.
Yeah.
Hasn't fought in how long? Unreal.
And then the public, Joe, they're going to love to see that they're getting plus money on their guy.
Yes.
They're going to go, oh, wait, I get plus money on my guy, even though I might not know nothing about this, but I love Connor. Let me bet Connor. So they'll run to the window to bet him at 2-1.
It's just crazy. And then you got Patty Pimblett fresh off his ass whooping there that he took. It's a great card. I can't wait to hear what you got there. But the public, we know where they're going across the board on that card there. All right, Art, we got some parlay of the day news from yesterday. I saw the message this morning you lay. Apparently, we were pretty good. Carmine was actually pretty good yesterday as well.
Carmine was great. He gave out 2 picks because that yellow card pick isn't available everywhere, and he had the over in the Argentina game. You and I nailed our baseball games, blowout winners. It was actually a pretty easy parlay of the day.
That's a 4-teamer for those of you keeping score at home. So next time anybody jumps in the let me know how many 4-team parlays you get. And again, if you would have round-robined it, my goodness, you would have killed it because Carms was pretty good plus money, was it not?
I think the yellow card was plus money. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So there you go. See, it pays to watch the best betting show ever. All right, new day here. We only got a 2-teamer there. So where are we going to start here, Art, on this card today? Where are you looking?
They have been so up and down, but you're basically getting even money, or at some places even a little bit of plus money, as high as maybe plus 103, plus 104. I have to think the Braves can bounce back. I don't think Ryan O'Hearn will have a 3-home run, 10 RBI night again. So give me the Braves in kind of a must win. They need to put some wins together here because obviously the Phillies are on their heels. So give me the Braves.
Braves. Have you did you catch that wonderful Mets game yesterday? That was absolutely hilarious on so many. And I don't know, Kansas, the fact that when they made that error and what was it? The rookie runs around, gets inside the infield home run because they kept throwing the ball around. I was crying. And somehow they still won the game there, Kansas City, which is even crazier.
By the way, where was Caglione throwing that ball?
No idea.
He was literally throwing it in the stands.
Yep. And he was the only guy that did not have an RBI, I believe. The only guy in that lineup.
Listen, I don't tweet a lot, but I sent out a tweet last night that the Mets are just a hilarious baseball team because for them to be up at one point, Soto hits a home run, they're up 9-4, and then their bullpen, and I know the Mets aren't going anywhere, but their bullpen is so atrocious. It's unbelievable. They brought that guy in, I forget his name, Bozon, who came in the other day. He came in the other day against Atlanta, gave up 100 runs. He gave up 100 runs last night. The Mets are, I don't know. I got no words for the Mets.
I got a word. Ass. That's exactly what they are. I'm going to back the Nats here today with Griffin, the lefty on the mound, going up against Houston and Arrighetti. Arrighetti is just a dumpster fire. And Washington, that is a lineup that can score some runs, and I think they'll do exactly that. Griffin is much better than people realize. I'll take the Nats to bounce back in a big way here today for my leg of the double play. All right, Art, let's talk some predictive markets here because a couple of markets, it's been a while since we've had a chance to dive into some of these Major League Baseball markets, but one of the ones that I find fascinating that you and I talked about a couple of months ago, right? Just when the season was getting good. I think it was May, actually, was the last time you and I had a chance to talk about it. And it was the Cy Young winner. I mean, listen, we're coming up to All-Star break here, so it's kind of time to take stock in what these markets are now and see with just a couple of months left. Let's see if there's any value in them. And look at what has been going on here. Sanchez has had back-to-back horrific starts for Philadelphia, where he has gotten lit up. He is now 11 cents. This guy in what was it, May? When we talked about it, was one of the odds-on favorites. We already know that Skeens, who happened to win yesterday because the Pirates finally scored some runs, but he's already removed himself from the All-Star game. I still think there's something else going on there, but that could be me. But yeah, not great in that market there. Wheeler has been steady Eddie, and we knew that was going to happen here. But when you look at some of these, Burns is now up there. I mean, Skeens doesn't even have a price. 74 cents from Miz? Is he just the best? I mean, is there anybody else here? And he won again yesterday.
He did. I would say if I was going to take a chance, and he pitched great yesterday, is Wheeler.
Yeah. Yeah. 5
Wheeler
cents.
would be the guy. Yeah, Wheeler would be the guy. Now, Mizorowski should be the favorite like that. He's been incredible. You're right. There's probably a little bit more to Skeens than we know because he hasn't been as sharp this year. Sanchez, I mean, he got lit up by the Royals the other day. And like you said, his last 2 starts haven't been great. He probably was going to come down to earth at some point. Wheeler's a guy, though, who's been around. You know, Philly's going to be pitching in a lot of big games and playing in a lot of big games in the second half, trying to catch the Braves to win the division. I think if I was going to take a shot, I don't even hate Burns, but I think Wheeler is the guy who I would say, hey, look how low that price is. Maybe he puts a couple of good starts together here, and maybe that price goes up. And like we always say, you just sell out of your position and you win some money.
That price, though, Art, is a price that's telling us the market is over. I don't know that the market is over, right? I mean,
Can't be halfway through the year, no.
If he does not pitch, okay, knock on wood, but son, he does not pitch again until the last week in September before the playoffs, right? Is he done enough to run away and warrant a 74-cent price here on Miz being the National League Cy Young winner? The kid is great, don't get me wrong. He's done more than enough to win it. But there's still a lot of real estate here between now and the end of the season.
There's half a season left.
That's crazy.
No matter how great someone has been, you can't win a Cy Young in the first half of the year. You know, there are going to be down the stretch big games that people are going to pitch in. Yep. And, you know, Miz might not pitch in big games because the Brewers might run away with the division and just be done. But Wheeler's going to pitch in a lot of big games. So, you know, even Skeens, I mean, the Pirates are going to be fighting to make a wild card. You know, they're right in the thick of things there. So, yeah, I don't think him being that, you said 74, that seems crazy.
That's a market done with. But that is a very volatile market because one injury, couple of missed starts, and then all of a sudden it's a different animal there. But listen, a couple of bad starts doesn't make Sanchez all of a sudden stick a fork in him either. And I still believe they're going to look for a reason to give Ohtani a Cy Young here at some point. So the National League
What's his price, Joe?
He's 4 cents, 4 or 5 cents.
4 cents. Wow, there you go.
So, and it's the Dodgers. I trust the Dodgers to score more runs than the Brewers, but that's me. American League. Boy, this has been tight all year because we really said the American League could be anybody's award, but it's kind of narrowed down now. And both these guys, Schlittler already won a couple of nights ago. He had a couple of rough starts, but he's always been around that 30 to 40 cent mark. He's seemed to have increased over the last couple of weeks there for the Yankees. Dylan Cease is the only good thing to happen to Toronto this year, by the way. He's on the mound like you said, coming up here against the Giants. He's at 29, 30 cents. Then you got Rasmussen also on the mound here, and then good old DeGrom at 5 cents there hanging in. But you see, this market tells me it's still anybody's game here. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think if you like Cease, you probably have to bet him today.
Yeah,
because
or Rasmussen.
You know, yeah, no doubt. Because I mean, obviously Cease is going to pitch against a Giant lineup that's not that great. I mean, I know they've been better, and you're in a good ballpark for a pitcher. You would think, him going against Webb, it could be a pitcher's duel today. And, obviously you might miss out if he pitches a gem today. So if you like Cease, maybe you go in. You're right about Schlittler. I mean, he obviously bounced back the other night because he had about 2 or 3. There weren't crazy rough starts, but they weren't Schlittler starts, because he's been so dominant. But, he was obviously a lot better the other night. We always talk about, do they want to give awards to Yankees? People want to bet Yankees, all that type of stuff. I mean, I think to me, and, I'm not going out on a limb because he's the second choice. I think for me, it would be Cease.
It's slowly becoming a 2-horse race. By the way, Rasmussen pissed the other night. McClanahan is going tonight. But both guys, I mean, have been great for Tampa. But it really does feel like it's going to be Schlittler versus Dylan Cease down the stretch here. And that's a big, we're talking about a 22 cent difference between those two. Do we think the Yankees are going to keep striking out 17 times a game? If you do, it's going to be hard for him to win some games. So I think that's a fascinating market sooner rather than later. I think Miz has gotten to a price point where the only thing you can do is fade him. But in the American League, like you said, I still think Schlittler goes the other way. Dylan Cease, Rasmussen, DeGrom, all those guys, I think very much coming into play here at a really good price, and you only got a couple of months left there until the end of the season there, Art. So fun stuff there with the predictive markets. Go ahead, Art.
Do we think there's any Mariner who can make a push?
Well, it's Logan Gilbert's the only one priced.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Mariner guy. I don't buy it in any way, shape, or form with him. So I don't. He's been good, but he's been terrible at a pitcher's ballpark in Seattle. He's been better on the road than he's actually been at home, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So I just don't know that there's enough name recognition there that he would get. He would get enough or even pitch well enough. I think DeGrom. I think Tampa should have a guy. Somebody in the top 2 or 3 that's going to be worth it with the way that they're rolling. So, and why not Rasmussen? The guy's been absolutely lights out this year for them. So, going to be interesting down the stretch in both of those markets here, but I'm still looking for a way to back Ohtani. I think they're going to look for a reason to give him that Cy Young. All right, before Art and I will run down some of the Major League Baseball games here today on the card. First, of course, it's time to look at Prez and a leotard because who doesn't love to do that? Time for a little bit of business here. And the business is 2 Major League Baseball plays up for you guys right now at my page, wt.buzz/JR. I've been telling you guys also, it is a great opportunity to hop on board this promo here because pitch to kickoff. I mean, Art, we're in July 8th here. Another 40 days, 45 days, guys. We're week 0 will be here August 29th. It'll be all about football. But in the meantime, you can get the rest of Major League Baseball and the opening weekend of college football for free. Just $2.99. This is absolutely something you want to hop on board, guys. Lock it in now while you can. Get the rest of Major League Baseball, and we'll get you covered right through August 29th, week 0 in college football. This is a deal definitely worth taking. Available at everyone's page at WagerTalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. It includes all 5% top plays as well there, guys. But 2 tonight, ready for you. Head on over on a hell of a run. Last 12 days, up 19 units in Major League Baseball. 13-6-1, I believe, run over the last 107. We're up 46 units across the board. We're just crushing it, guys. Steady as she goes. That's about building bankrolls. That's what it's about. So when we get to football season, you've got extra money in that bankroll to be able to play with, and that is what it is all about. All right, Art, we have got Major League Baseball here today. We'll do the same thing. I'll run down a bunch of games, get your thoughts on what's going to happen here in few of them. That game, Blue Jays and Giants, that's your only afternoon game. But let's go to the Cubs and Orioles. Cubs got it done last night. Kremer versus Colin Ray. The Orioles can't hit water if they fell out of a boat. What are we doing here, Art, with this one?
Yeah, and the Orioles are a favorite. We got them minus 122. You get a nice plus price on the Cubs at plus 112. I said it yesterday. Sharps were on the Orioles. They backed off again today. Public's going to be on the Cubs. High total of 10.
Yeah, a big time total of 10 there. Tigers at the Athletics. The Athletics are going through it. Offensively, they're awful. Springs does nothing but give up home runs. Melton has been good, but he does have some regression signs coming. But I don't know that the Athletics are the team that are going to force his hand here. Tigers are starting to swing the bat pretty well here. It just seems like two teams heading in different directions here, Art.
It really does. Normally, I would want to take a shot with the A's at a plus price because I don't love the Tigers. But you said it. The A's are going through it. More likely here, the look is the over. Over 9, it's juiced to minus 120, so it's trending towards 9.5. I would say over 9 in the game.
Pirates, they had a dude there that scored had 10 RBIs yesterday, finally. I think O'Hearn. About time. But the Pirates back home against the Braves. Holmes versus Jones. 9 is the number. That feels like we're getting runs in that game as well. No, Art?
Yeah, we even moved to 9.5, Joe. We're 9.5 under minus 120. So you already said it. It's moved from 9 overnight to 9.5. Probably a lot of runs. Obviously, in the parlay day, I gave out the Braves because anytime I can get the Braves plus money against a Pirate team who I still think is a little suspect, I don't mind taking a shot. But you're right. Should be a lot of runs in this game.
Yankees Rays, McClanahan versus Cole. You can't go back-to-back 17 strikeouts in a game. I still, home runs. That's it. So it's home run or bust. It's hard, even with Cole on the mound, to back this Yankee team, Art.
It really is. Rice hit that 3-run homer yesterday, put him up 3-2, and then the Rays came back an inning or two later and then held on because the Yankees, made it a game late. But listen, anytime you can get the Rays at a short price at home where they've been dominant against a Yankee team and that offense, that's bad. It's the Rays or nothing.
Red Sox, White Sox. Bennett, the starting pitcher, rookie there, lefty, actually pretty good. Davis Martin for the White Sox. He's kind of come back down to reality here a little bit, but the White Sox can't hit lefty pitchers. They didn't hit Toll last night. They're likely not hitting Bennett tonight. I hate to say it, but I kind of like the Red Sox here, Art.
No doubt about it, and that was one of the sharp plays. The Sharps took the Red Sox at plus money overnight. Now it's even money, maybe even, minus 101, minus 102 on the Red Sox, but all the sharp money today was on Boston.
I agree. And the red-hot Marlins have a game number 2. They walked it off yesterday against Seattle. Kirby going for the Mariners there. Phillips going for Miami. Kind of a bulk guy here, Art, that they're trying to stretch out to maybe give him 3 or 4 innings. Bullpen hasn't been great. Bats are red hot for the Marlins. It's certainly good enough for Marlins plus money at home. What are we thinking?
Yeah, it's another hot team that just finds ways to win. And, this is a market we never talk about, but I'm going to just say this. The Marlin manager should be the manager of the year.
Yes.
I don't understand. And Mattingly's been great, and Walt Weiss and all these guys who are up there, even the Brewer guy who's won back-to-back. The Marlins have so overachieved and been so great and are right in the thick of a playoff hunt right now. You're going to give me the Marlins at home at a plus price? That's the move.
I love it. All right, that's your Major League Baseball rundown. Let's take a look just at some of these early World Cup games here. Tomorrow, Morocco at France. I know a lot of people don't think Morocco is going to be an easy walkover for France, Art. But I also, how do you not bet Mbappe anytime goal scorer at this point? It feels like it has to be on the card, Art. It has to be. France likely winning this game, but they won't win if Mbappe is shut out. I think he scores. I think France ultimately ends up winning it, but I think it's not going to be as easy as maybe some people backing France think it's going to be.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of smart soccer people who I trust, and they say Morocco is definitely going to be tough here for France. France minus 180, minus 1, even money. Total of 2.5, but it's juiced to the under, which I thought was interesting. 2.5 under minus 120. Does that mean maybe you take a shot with the draw at 3-1. I mean,
Yep.
it's only 90 minutes in stoppage time, especially with France. All they do is score goals, but the total's juiced to the under. So makes me scratch my head a little bit with that draw sitting at 3-1.
I agree. Friday, also, one of my favorite bets all tournament long has been both teams to score. Spain has got 5 consecutive clean sheets here, but there's no way I think they're keeping Belgium off the board here. I do think both teams to score might not be a bad look. I do think Spain ultimately, although they have a history of not getting it done, I think Spain will likely get it done here, but I do think that we're getting goals in this one. So both teams to score and Spain to get it done in that one for me, Art.
Spain -160, also -1, but they're +110 on the -1. This total 2.5 is juiced to the over, -$1 and $1.25. Both teams to score, Joe, as you mentioned, yes, -125. So this game is showing you there should be goals, especially the way that total looks, and especially with that price of both teams to score at -125.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this right now. I do think the dog of the quarterfinals, give me Norway and Erling Haaland to get it done, Art. Not that England is going to be they're going to walk through them, but I think Norway has the best goalie, and I think they have by far like Thor of all Thors here. I mean, ugly looking dude, but my goodness, I mean, that man bun is very hard to bet against, Art, if I'm going that direction.
There's a lot of ways you can go with Norway. You could take them, plus 340 in the 90 minute. You could take the half a goal, even money. Take them to advance, Joe, at almost 2-1. So, yeah, I mean, if you like Norway, there's plenty of ways to go. And listen, I'm a believer, and there's just a lot of teams that find ways to lose in big spots. And England's always that team. I know they won that great game in Mexico, but maybe there's a letdown. And Norway's going to be ready to play. And they got that guy, anytime he puts his foot on the ball, that Viking can score. So I'm with you. I think the shot here is Norway.
I think that's your dog of the tournament there. And there you got it. We gave you a whole bunch of best bets here, so we're good to go there. We do have, of course, more all week long with you. Carmine will be back tomorrow. We'll break down those World Cup games for you. Art will pass along any sharp bets that he comes across. Art, we won't see you tomorrow, but we'll see you, Thursday?
I won't be tomorrow, but I'll be back Friday.
Friday. Okay. Well, I don't even know what day it is. Tomorrow's Thursday. Won't see you tomorrow.
Friday's big show, Joe.
Yes.
Friday's big because you mentioned we'll have a lot of UFC action, and there'll be plenty to discuss. It's a huge UFC card. I'm going to try to give you some Summer League, too, if I have any on Friday morning, because obviously Summer League starts here in Vegas on Thursday. So, throughout the whole Summer League in Vegas, we'll try to give you any of that, too, if we see any.
What is the plan, Art, for when do we start talking college football and NFL? When do you think here? What would be the good?
Soon, because I'll say this. I have already some sharp NFL win total stuff. Yeah.
It's coming.
I already have it. It's coming.
What's great, Art, is that, and by the way, I forgot to mention, we will have, Art, we'll have some stuff on the All-Star game, Major League Baseball All-Star game, so we'll get you all of that, but that'll be a good time, that little break there. That'll be a good time for us maybe to start introducing some of the football stuff. Yes, it is here. I've been telling you guys, it's coming. It'll be here before you know it, so looking forward to that for sure. Art to Caesar. Always a pleasure. Guys, don't forget, head over to WagerTalk.com. Go grab those Major League Baseball top plays of mine over there. Keep an eye out for another edition of First Five. That'll be up a little bit later today. We'll break down the Major League Baseball slate only from a First Five perspective for you. And then come back and join us again tomorrow for the best betting show ever. Art, enjoy it. We'll see you on Friday. In the meantime, guys, enjoy the day. Cash those tickets. We'll see you again tomorrow.